Show me the money. Dollar signs in the chat if y'all want to talk big money. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to talk big money. Huh? It's time to get into it. You know we got to talk about it. You know we got to give the people something to feel. We got to give the people pause. You know we got to get into it. We got to give the people something to invest in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that Snoop D-O double G? Is that the Dizzle? Snoop Dizzle?
You know what it is. It's Snoop D-O double G. And I just pulled up to LAX to pick up my day ones. The motherfucking fat niggas. Yep, we go way back.
My nigga Snoop, what's good?
What up, big dog? It's been a minute. Gonna show them around LA. Let them know how we do it. We rollin' heavy. Good thing my suspension is reinforced with fat nigga tech. These niggas hungry, so we pulled up to a taco spot. Got all Pastora spinning like the rims of my lowrider.
Damn, this shit good as hell, nigga.
Next stop, Rodeo Drive. Gonna get my boys fitted. We driving down PCH, smoking blunts fatter than them. Took them down Venice. Showed them where the sun shines and snow bunnies glide.
Oh my god, it's the fat niggas. Can we take a selfie?
Damn, these niggas really famous now. Next, I had to show them where the magic happens. You already know my studio fully equipped with fat nigga tech. Custom gold analog FN compressor on the vocal chain. Vintage iced out microphone that Michael Jackson used.
Yo, engineer, turn my vocals up, nigga.
This shit hard. We gotta drop that.
I think we need this on the Fat Nigga Records debut album.
We ended the day at the observatory, watched the sun go down, and plotted our next business moves. Hey, you shut the fuck up. It's fat nigga season.
Another genius one. Another genius one. Fat nigga tech. Same microphone Michael Jackson used. You know? You know? Dollar sign fat meme coin business right there. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Okay? Do your own research. All right. I got a stock pick for you today. Stock watch time. Stock watch time. Y'all ready for this one? Y'all ready for this one? I've been giving y'all some risky plays all week, so I gotta give you something. I give you something safe. You know, some of y'all got families and kids and shit, so we gotta balance out your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hedge your bets, okay? Your portfolio should be well balanced, okay? You're gonna need some risky stuff, okay? And you're gonna need some safer stuff to balance things out just in case things get a little hectic on the other side of your portfolio, okay? So today what we giving out some real estate, all right? Prime real estate, okay? Upper echelon real estate with dividends. Let's get into it. Right here we got Vicki. Oh, she's a sexy one. Look at Vicki. There go Vicki right there. Burling Wealth Partners LLC acquired a new stake in Vicki Properties. Yep. Now Vicki's giving you 5.28% annualized dividend yield. Vicki, yeah, that's our new snow bunny right there. That's our new snow bunny. Vicki Properties Inc. is an S&P 500 experiential real estate investment trust that owns one of the largest portfolios of market-leading gaming, hospitality, and entertainment destinations, including Caesars Palace, MGM Grand, and Venetian Las Vegas Resort. Okay. Troublemaker Jonah said, LOL, Vici, as in Veni Vidi Vici. All right, Troublemaker Jonah, nigga, it was supposed to be a joke. Now you gotta go on timeout. 1 minute, Jonah. 1 minute timeout for you, nigga. Ain't nobody. I know what the fuck it says, nigga. Just because I'm black don't mean I can't read. I call it Vicky, motherfucker. That's her name, Vicky. Okay, that's sexy. Okay, sit back and enjoy the show, nigga. You tell me what the fuck it say. I know how the fuck this shit's pronounced, nigga. But that shit ain't sexy. Vici is not sexy. Vicky is sexy, okay? The bottom line is, do you own any? Can you find the chart? That's what matters. It don't matter if you can spell the motherfucker. It don't matter if you can pronounce the motherfucker. Bottom line is, can we get into it? Vicki, motherfucker, that's how you say the shit. It's my show, nigga. Yeah, it's fucking around and find out Fridays. Now, the great thing about this stock is, the way they do business. Did you know that these companies actually have to not only lease the building, but they are responsible for the taxes and insurance of the property? What? How you get somebody to sign a deal like that? Look, I'm gonna lease this to you, but you got to pay the taxes and insurance on my property. What? What kind of deal? And they was like, all right, fuck it. They did this. That's the type of deals that Vicki's doing. Vicki's a bad bitch. Okay, Vicki's a bad bitch. All right, let's go ahead. Let's pull up the chart. Let's pull Vicki up. Okay, let's see what she got underneath that skirt. There she go with her sexy self. There go Vicki right there. We looking at the 1 day. They go to 1 day. All right. Let's see. We see any patterns in here? I don't see anything I recognize too much. I mean, I see the Casabas. And that's kind of like, it's looking bullish. Let's look at the 5 day. Let's look at the 5 day. Looks like a nice buying opportunity on a 5 day. Now, if we look at let's go to the 1 year. Look at this 1 year. There was a little bit of a correction down at 27 here sometime last July. Okay. So, there looks like and then there's another one here in January 2025. So it looks like there's several buying opportunities with this thing right here. It got some $3 swings or something going on. But the bottom line is, man, you're not in it for that. You just, you kind of want to hold it for the long term. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the big boy chart. This is all time. It just looks like it's just steadily growing, just little by little. And that's what you want. This is, nice little safe hedge. This is a hedge play with the dividends, with the 5% dividends, annualized dividends. I mean, it's just, we're not looking for big swings. We're not looking for a lot. We just want to hedge, put our money in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got them saggy Casabas. That's what we looking for. I am reading stocks better. Thanks, HJ. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. You see, the deal is, if I make y'all money, then there's more gifted subs.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You know what I'm saying? Some people want to take from their community and just make you pay while they give you garbage news. And I'm going to give you something so you make some money. And if we all make money, then we all win. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it got to work. So I got to show y'all how to get to the money. Now, I got to be honest with you. I punked out today. I opened up the AMD chart, saw some news, and I saw an option. 95.27. $95.27 option. I looked at the chart. I saw the flag and the double Casabas, and I was like, oh shit, I could make a little bit of money off this. Then my heart started racing. $95.27. I said, no, close the app. So I closed the app. I was going to buy a contract. Close the app. As soon as I closed the app, that shit started moving. That shit went all the way up to $97. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to $97. And I was sick. I closed the chart. I was like, I don't even want to look at this shit. I had to close the shit. I saw the signs. I fumbled the baddie. Can you believe that? It was right there on a Friday, 1 day contract. 1 day contract. Martian, look like you got to set your bell 5. 5, get this up, Martian. Lauren done got you again. Damn. You on thin ice. Anyway, let's talk big business. It's time to talk big business. Federal Reserve is making moves. Okay, we got to keep everybody abreast of what's going on with the big boys. You follow the big boys, it's like a shark. You ever watch Discovery Channel? They got the shark and they got them little fish running around picking up the sharp scraps. That's why you got to watch the big boys. We that little fish right there next to the whale. The Federal Reserve has withdrawn 4 crypto asset related advisories, including ones that required banks to inform the Fed of planned activities in advance or receive a non-objection letter. So basically the Fed's like, y'all want to wild out with crypto? Go right ahead. Yeah. When Trump said he's going to make America the crypto capital of the world, he was not lying. Citibank published a report. Citi says stablecoins could reach 3.7 trillion by 2030 in a bull scenario. Check this out. They got a new paper they just published. Like I used to this highlights, got highlights for you. A new paper from Citi Institute forecasts the issuance of stablecoins reaching up to 3.7 trillion by 2030 in a bullish scenario that assumes minimal hurdles along the way. It also provided a base prediction of 1.6 trillion, which is less than the 2.4 trillion forecast from the Boston Consulting Group. The Citi numbers are based on several factors, such as proportion of cash that switches to stablecoins, both domestically and globally, as well as bank balances and term deposits. This is what Alex Jones has warned us about for 500 decades, okay? Bank balances changing over to stablecoin, aka the synthetic CBDC. Further, adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrency will make up the largest proportion of stablecoin balances in all scenarios. And they got a little chart here. You know, the little smart people up there at Citi put together a chart. They're saying overseas cash switches to stablecoins is at 20 would be 25% by 2030. Okay. US banknotes switch to stablecoins 10%. Bank balances switch to stablecoins 5%. These numbers are super conservative.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I would say you should probably quadruple these numbers at minimum, based upon the aggression of people like MasterCard, Visa, Amex, PayPal, Circle, Coinbase, Paxos. We're going to get into it. It says, on one hand, if there's a dramatic shift towards stablecoins, this could negatively impact deposits and the ability of banks to provide affordable lending. So we talked about that before. If you ever saw my paper published on CBDCs, we said that banks would be impacted by the CBDC. Okay, how are banks going to compete with PayPal? I mean, your bank might not be here. Your bank might not be here in a few years. Okay, so you might want to transfer your shit to Chase or Citi, or I think Bank of America might survive, because it's looking ugly out here, you know. And not financial advice. Do your own research. I hate Chase. I got to be honest with you. The fees are crazy, but those are the big dogs that are probably going to survive the great banking consolidation. Wells Fargo is going to be a little safer-ish, but I think Wells Fargo is going to get amalgamated. I think they're going to get consolidated into one of those things. I don't know. I got to take a look and refresh my mind. However, there are also opportunities for banks. These include obvious ones such as providing on and off ramps, stablecoin cash management services, custody of the reserves, and helping the issuer to buy and sell treasuries and participate in repo. Okay. So they're saying, banks are going to have to increase their services. They're going to have to change business a little bit and move to stablecoin services. It says here banks could even use stablecoin infrastructure themselves. For example, MUFG, a startup, Progmat, is exploring using stablecoins instead of SWIFT for cross-border payments. So SWIFT might not even be here. Okay, if anybody knows anything about SWIFT, SWIFT is the organization that has placed sanctions on Russia, and Russia can't make any cross-border payments. So Russia's got to move to digital, and SWIFT might not be here anymore because everybody's moving to digital. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. Other banks are already leaning heavily into providing stablecoin services to issuers. BNY Mellon is Circle's primary bank. Standard Chartered is the bank that has leaned in the most. It has a relationship with Paxos, StraitsX in Singapore, and is part of a joint venture in Hong Kong to issue a stablecoin. Now, Hong Kong isn't the only one that's going to issue a stablecoin. We now have another country looking at stablecoins. If you've been paying attention to this show for the past year, we have warned you that many countries might want to switch to a stablecoin. These countries were not watching the Griff Report, so they are late.
Hotep, you're a genius.
Unfortunately, they are late. They should have been paying attention. Okay, we talked about this when Javier Milei took the throne in Argentina. And I said the first thing he should do is he should issue a stablecoin, and that's going to help his country. Who has just figured this out? Korea. They're just figuring this out. In response to the Trump administration's promotion of dollar stablecoins, Korean banks have decided to create a joint venture to issue a joint Korean stablecoin. Finally. Okay. But there is a catch. Currently, Korea doesn't have stablecoin regulations, and that's where America's ahead of most people. We got the Genius Act. This was one of the, I love to marvel at the genius behind the Western Illuminati, because they had the world running around trying to create a CBDC. They're like, oh yeah, CBDC is away. Meanwhile, they're like, no, we already got one. It's called a stablecoin, and you guys are looking at CBDC. So the whole world ran around looking for CBDCs. Meanwhile, America was developing the stablecoins. And now everybody's like, oh, wait, stablecoins was the way the whole time. And the United States' regulations should probably be finalized, I would say, no later than this summer in the Genius Act. Seoul Business Daily reported an unnamed banking official is saying if banks, remember I told you about these banks, this is why it's very important to watch other countries, because if you watch other countries, things happen quicker there because they have smaller populations, smaller economies, et cetera, et cetera. They're like test markets. So if you watch other countries, you can see like, okay, this is what could happen here. If banks do not actively enter the market could be formed around businesses that are difficult to control and trust. As a result, there are concerns about funds flowing out of deposits into stablecoins.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
PayPal, Coinbase. These are your new banks. What bank? What bank? What is a bank? What is a bank even? What even is a bank? This is where we're headed, people. Okay? These days of going down the street and booking an appointment, like these are just, it's going to look vastly different in the next few years. It's going to look vastly different. You got Sophie? I got Sophie too. She's a bad bitch. Korean bank stablecoin CBDC activities. It says here the Korean news outlet also reported that Shinhan Bank and NH Yonghyup Group Bank are taking part in Project PAX. This is a Japanese initiative for banks to use stablecoins for cross-border payments behind the scenes. What does that mean? Use stablecoins for cross-border payments behind the scenes. Watch this. We covered this the other day as well. It says corporates would initiate payments in a normal way, and payment instructions use the common ISO 20022 standard. But instead of routing via correspondent banks, stablecoins will be used to execute the payments. We covered that, I want to say, either Monday or Tuesday. We talked about the paper that was issued by, I want to say what was it, Circle? I think it was Circle. Chat, who was it? Anybody remember? No, Bank of International Settlements. This was Bank of International Settlements, I believe it was. And basically what you'll have is you'll send USD, that USD will basically transform into stablecoin, and it'll reach the other country in stablecoin version, and it'll transfer back to the local currency. So even if you don't want to use stablecoins, you may just be using stablecoins. Geopolitics. Let me see the USA flags in the chat. USA flags in the chat. Show me you're alive. Show me you're awake. Show me you're aware. USA flags in the chat. Look at this. China may exempt some U.S. goods from tariffs as costs rise. Yup. Getting that ass whooped. They can't handle Trump's tariffs. China's government is considering suspending its 125% tariff on some U.S. imports. People familiar with the matter said, as the economic costs of the tit-for-tat trade war weigh heavily on certain industries. What industries are those? Medical equipment and some industrial chemicals like ethane. Officials are also discussing waiving the tariff for plane leases. Now, China don't make no damn planes. They make a plane, that shit gonna crash. They can't make no plane. They can't make a plane without Boeing. They can't make a plane without USA. Like many airlines, Chinese carriers don't own all of their aircraft and pay leasing fees to third-party companies to use them jets. So they ain't even got the money to buy the plane. Or they do, and they're just leasing it, which is financial. It's a smart thing to do, right? You know, OPM, use other people's money. Now, Kok Hong Wong. Whoa. Pause. Pause. Okay. Let's be clear. He or she says, it's another step towards de-escalation of the trade war. Okay. And it says here, while most don't expect the U.S. and China to set aside their differences quickly, he said, it would appear the worst may truly be over. It's almost behind us. It's almost behind us. The Cold War between the United States and America is almost behind us. Trump is getting us through. Make America great again. Tell people, man, you better trust in Trump. It was in there. Hudson Bay Capital Report. We covered it 2 weeks ago. This is all in the plan. Shout out to Bessent, our U.S. Treasury Secretary Czar. Okay, doing the damn thing. Yeah. And that concludes our financial report of the day. Hopefully everybody makes some money, not financial advice. Do your own research. Shout out to King Jae for the clips. Doing a marvelous job.